Shalom, shalom. I'm your brother Kaya from Jim's Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. First and foremost, as I would like to give his all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahakodash. Of course, I would like to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us this truth and rule well. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. Want to say shalom to the speckled bird out there. Also want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim. You know, this is something that's been talked about, and we keep telling you at the end of the day who's coming. You know, I've talked about this before, and now, you know, throughout time, you've heard about the UFOs, the UAPs. You heard about the armada that's getting close to the earth and not changing course. We constantly keep telling you through the scriptures who is returning. Yahweh Shai is coming, who you ignorantly call Jesus. And he's coming with the army of heaven, which is right behind him. Now, see, many people may say, oh, that's far-fetched. That's far-fetched. They can't be black people or look like African Americans or Negroes. Well, the scripture told you they're a copper of what? Burnt bronze? Copper bronze? Matter of fact, you know what? I'm just going to let this man talk. I'm going to let this play.
Them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 twirl. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship.
Now, let me stop him real quick. If you were paying attention, so he's talking about a chariot. A time had happened where apparently a chariot had came down and it opened up, and the man was able to see what came out. Now, you know, there's another video going into this. There's an Edomite man, an Edomite woman sitting there. And I believe I did a video, and a few brothers did a video on this in times past. I'll see if I can find that video again and upload it once again, and once I find it. So they're sitting there, and the lady's asking questions about the UFOs, the chariots. And the man seemed very nervous to talk about it, but he was telling her what he saw. And exactly what is explained here is exactly what he explained. So those orbs y'all see shooting around and moving around and coming out of the ocean and different places and whatnot, all these different chariots, what came out? Because see, Esau always says it's the grays, it's the Anunnaki, it's the green people and all that. But this Edomite told exactly what came out. What stands before you. And see, everybody think it's far-fetched. And see, that's the crazy thing. How do you think it's far-fetched? But the first thing Esau told you, another thing told you that all the angels were Caucasian looking. Which is definitely a lie. Because even Yahweh Shah himself, who you ignorantly call Jesus, was not a Caucasian man. He would be considered a Negro, an African American man. Technically, today, yeah, out of the tribe of Judah. Judah is known to be Negroes, so-called African Americans. Coppered color people, black people, dark brown, different shades of brown. We're not black. We are different shades of brown. That black, white, that was just a social construct from Esau Edom, because he didn't want to be labeled the Edomites, the Idumeans. So he came with a color graph. And we're not black. Matter of fact, if you look at these men here, you can tell they brown. Their hair and their beards are black. But look at their skin. Different shades of brown, from dark to light. Copper, bronze. Matter of fact, let this man play. And also the man said, "What?" Matter of fact, let me go and let him play. And we're going to get some scriptures.
And formed a protection line around the ship, and the people at that Air Force base, the command with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge Star-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5".
They look like what? African Americans that came out of those ships. What they look like. See, but right now, see, everybody gonna sit here and say that can't be true. That's far fetched. Negroes gonna be out of space. Ain't no niggas out there. But see, when you go back to that article, go back to that video of that man and woman sitting there, you should see the fear on that man's face when he said what he seen came out. You can tell he was scared. You can tell he wasn't lying. The fear, like he didn't even want to say. He whispered it because he was so afraid to even say it. Because the first thing the Edomite woman asked was what? What do they look like? Do they look like us? And he said no. They look like African Americans who came out of the chariots. Going into Psalm 67 to 17 Psalm 67 and verse 17. The angels. But see, Esau has lied so much and everybody believes his lie that, all the angels are Caucasians with long blonde hair and blue eyes and Caucasian looking. Hell no. That color, that what they look like in the scriptures is a curse. Stripped of melanin. That is a curse. And that's in the scriptures. Talking about them. Even though, what do they call? The Mormons want to say that the so-called black people we're cursed because of our skin color. Ain't that something? We're cursed, huh? But we can stand out in the sun. We can be out there. Y'all can't be out there very long. Not that you can't be out there, but y'all got to put on suntan lotion. You got to do all this extra stuff. And matter of fact, even putting on suntan lotion, they've showed, I don't know if it's some kind of UV or some kind of light they put you under, and I think it's some kind of spectrum. And guess what? When you put on sunscreen lotion, what do you think it looks like? It showed the people to be black. The Caucasians was wiping on their skin. They showed them under a light, some kind of like light or something, and they showed them as what? Like they were putting on a melanin to protect themselves from the sun. But remember, we're the cursed ones, right? That's another topic for another day. But once again, going into what's really in them ships. Who's in them? Matter of fact, let's go further. Let me let him play on.
These tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquered, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about.
Hold on, one more thing, y'all. I know. I'm sorry to keep stopping the video because I know y'all want to watch it. I can want to watch it if they haven't seen it already. Do y'all remember? I don't know who remembers this. There was a man out of so-called Africa, and at the end of the day, they was trying to kill him, and they couldn't. They chopped him up. They did all kind of stuff to him, and he reappeared. They said they were in the plane, and the man stopped the plane in midair. Stopped it in midair. And after they tried to kill him and everything else, he told him, well, apparently, basically, you don't want the message. But remember this, there's going to be many more like me that's going to come, and you're not going to be able to stop them. Who do you think is coming? You see what's standing on this screen. Now, I'm not going to say they look identical to this, but hey, this wouldn't be far-fetched. You know, of course, they're going to be bright and everything else. They're going to be better than this. It's just a picture, But nevertheless, I'm going to let it play. We'll get some scriptures.
Of arrogance, that is exactly what these, one of them landed on.
So let's go into the scriptures, what they are about to do. Let's go to scripture because Yahweh Shem Yahshua is coming in tote with them. With these angels. Matter of fact, let's go to the scriptures, right? Boom. Let me see now, so we can get that in a minute. Let's go to Isaiah is where we're going to go first. This is Isaiah, the 66th chapter. You've heard this scripture. You're going to hear it again. Isaiah. And I've noticed lately the chariots have been showing themselves more and more. Me and the Akim yesterday, we've been seeing them out here by my where I live at constantly. And I mean, they are low. They not way up where you got to squint to see them. They low. Now, of course, we ain't seen nothing come out of them yet, but they definitely flying around, coming in and out of portals and whatnot. And somebody say, oh, that's far-fetched. That's not true. All right. Wait till they come to a city near you and they pop up. And people and people around the world have been seeing them. And video recording, they ain't even seeing what comes out, but they've been seeing the chariots. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 66, right? And we're going to get verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebukes with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So it's letting you know what is really about to happen. Pretty soon, eventually, them chariots are going to get to shooting people. They're going to start shooting lasers, shooting fire. Matter of fact, in the past, even Enoch talked about this. Matter of fact, let's go there, right? What is that? Bear with me, Israel. I think that's in Jude. Is it Jude? Yeah, Jude 1 and 14. This is Jude chapter 1. And verse 14. Let me see. Matter of fact, this is Jude 1 and 14, and we're reading it in NLT. Look over to the right. Enoch, who lived in the 7th generation after Adam, prophesied about these people. He said, listen, the Lord is coming with countless thousands of his holy ones. Who are the holy ones? The angels. To do what? To execute judgment. So judgment is coming to Babylon and other places. To execute judgment on the people of the world. He will convict every person of all the ungodly things they have done, and for all the insults that ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So you understand what is about to happen. We are telling you what is about to happen and what they are about to do. Going right back to Isaiah 66 and 15. The slain of the Lord shall be many. All those that scoffed and mocked and made fun and all the wickedness that they have done, you're going to pay for it. Let's go to another scripture. Ain't gonna be about no little green people or the grays and the big-headed grays and the greens and the Anunnaki and all this other stuff that Esau Edom is making up. Let's go to the book of Psalms to prove it again. Psalm 67, right? What's coming out the ships? Psalm 67. Bear with me, Israel. Hold on, bear with me. This is 67, 68. What is that? And bear with me, I always get this. Here it is. This is Psalm 68 and verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place. So once again, telling you what is about to come. What's in the ships? Angels. I don't know how many times we got to keep repeating this. Angels, angels, not no big-headed people, not the grays, not no green people with big heads and black eyes and long fingers and run around wanting to touch you and all this other stuff. When you see those stupid-ass videos on TV and they show them in the dark, these green people running around with big-ass heads and screaming, that's just Esau on some bullshit. To keep you believing that there's some green big-headed people with black eyes walking around. Now, could that be newly created beasts? Possibly. Could it be a demon? Possibly. Could shapeshift, can do whatever. But we see here who's about to come. You know, Esau always lying about something. Pretty soon he's gonna have what is that? Project Bluebeam. That's gonna manipulate a lot of people. But it's not gonna manipulate the prophets. We gonna know. The prophets gonna know what's real and what's fake. Now, matter of fact, let's go to another scripture. Right? Let's go to the book of Daniel, right? Because see, if everybody's saying, oh, well, they can't look like that. They can't look like African Americans. That's impossible. That's impossible. They can't look copper color. They can't be black. And we're not black. No, how many times we got to keep saying that shit? I ain't never seen a black person. I've seen a very dark person. I ain't never seen nobody look like tar or look like tires on a car or anything like that. I've seen very dark-skinned people, yes. But black, no. Matter of fact, I forgot where I was going over here talking. Oh, Daniel, right? Daniel chapter 10. I was there earlier. This is Daniel chapter 10, right? And we're going to get verse, bear with me. Let's see, Daniel chapter 10 and verse 6. And we'll see what it says. Let's see what it says in NLT. Look over to the right. His body looked like a precious gem. His face flashed like lightning, and his eyes flamed like torches. His arms and feet shone like polished bronze, and his voice roared like the vast multitude of people. Yahweh Shai. When you go in the book of Revelation, what does he look like? Burnt bronze, right? Skin of burnt bronze, as if burned in the furnace, meaning what? He was dark brown. If his feet were dark brown, the rest of the body was. Now, I know everybody throws that hissy fit. Oh, but wait a minute. His head was full. It was light. Yes, he has woolly white hair. And the eyes a flame of fire, as you seen in the picture. Come on now, people. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Matter of fact, here. Let's go here. Let me see something. Let me see. Polish. Let's see.
Strong's H 5178. Nehosheth.
Copper, bronze, copper. Alloy, feathers, copper, bronze. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go up. What do we see there? What do we see there, y'all? It's the color wheel. Copper, bronze. Remember he said so-called African Americans? And we're different shades of brown. That's even proving it from light to dark. Even what we would call even yellow. Some of us, or we call a female a red bone, goldish color. Like the color right here. Different shades of brown, even to a penny. The coppered people, dark, different shades of brown. Pictures of, well, you see it said pictures of copper, bronze. What color is it? Brown. A different shade of brown. Let's see something. Slovakia. I was looking at something I was going to look at. Let me see. Anyway, matter of fact, let's go to another scripture, right? Let's see what scripture we want to look at. Oh, gotta get this. Gotta go to Malachi, right? What is that? Malachi 4:1. Oh yeah, we gotta get that. Let me see. Bear with me. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. This means complete destruction is coming. Now, if you look over to the right, what does it say? So the phone keeps going black. What does it say to the right, y'all? In the NLT, the coming day of judgment. And when them chariots come, that's the time of judgment, when they start shooting and they start killing. Going right back to Isaiah 66, when Yahweh Shai is coming. See, we keep warning you who is coming and what he's about to do. Matter of fact, let's go to another scripture, right? What was I thinking, y'all? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10. Hebrews 10 and verse, let's see, bear with me. Man, it's Hebrews 10 and 27 in NLT. Look over to the right. There is only the terrible expectation of God's judgment and the raging fire that will consume his enemies. Whew. So that's what's about to come. Death. That raging fire. Don't forget, 2 Peter 3 and 7, going into them nukes, going to them missiles, and them chariots are going to be shooting and killing people. It's a whole lot of stuff about to be going on real soon. We're living in exciting times. But just going back on the chariots once again, they definitely out here showing themselves, and they getting closer and closer. And then that armada, call it what, the fathership is coming. Yahweh Shai is coming. Now, if people want to make fun and poke jokes and all that, keep it up. Because when he pull up, we're going to see who's going to be he, and ha. Because the scriptures say that all eyes shall see him. What do you think they're going to do when they see him? And he look like a so-called African American. Then what? I bet the he and the ha-ha's going to stop. Anyway, this wasn't meant to be long. Just a few scriptures in a video. Hope you was edified. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.